It's been many winters since my husband returned to the Omega, but my heart still aches for the loss.
It's tradition that the son of the smith take his father's place, but you have no son. Who will become smith of the Skaal after you?
I'll make her willing young Nicholas to take the post. I'll be happy to teach you.
Nicholas is restless. I do not think he has the patience to work in the forge.
Well,
My
you
mother
are-
was Skaal, but she left the village, and I was born in Skyrim. A trade ship from Skyrim struck ice off the coast near the village, and the Skaal took it. My mother fell in love with one of the sailors, my father, and eventually returned with him to Skyrim. Sadly, no. She died in Fall Creek, where I was born. I came across a few of my mother's old things not long ago. Among them was a necklace that my father gave to her when they were married. I believe she would want it placed upon her tombstone in Fall Creek, as a symbol of her undying love and the great sacrifice she made for it. If you find yourself in Fall Creek, please give this amulet to the priest William and tell him that I sent you. He will understand. I don't have much to give in reward, but return to me when the task is done and I'll do what I can. Thank you, Skaal friend. Well, my mother used to say that I was born an angry child. It's true that my heart is... I was a soldier for a time, and then a mercenary, but I was never truly... Well, the dragons are a constant danger, but so what have they for? They are but one more hardship, added to the many we already endure.
Fear to think what would have happened if you... Take a look.
Until next time.
The weapons of the Skaal will never be dull. Well, first you'll need to obtain some Stalrune ores, and then you'll need to work it. You can find some in Raven Rock Mine, as well as that new source of Stalrim on the map you recovered from the elves. Just be sure to bring an ancient Nord pickaxe with you. It's the only pickaxe that can mine the Stalrim properly without breaking it. Good day.
My son and I gather items to trade with travelers who visit the village.
The blood of... I am called Wolf Wildblood. I am first hunter of the Skaal. It's all in the swing. Let me show you. I doubt that an outsider could truly understand. Deer, bear, and horse. Sometimes, when the wolves grow too bold and threaten the village, the first piece of wisdom I teach to any hunter of the Skaal is to ask the simple question. Should I? We take only what we need. So we preserve the ones. The Skaal hunt not for sport, but to survive. We believe the less we disturb the land and the beasts within it. In days past, my brother Torkild and I would share the hunt. But that was... I wish I could tell you. He had a wild gleam in his eye. More so than most. In my darkest times, I fear twisted beasts. A curse of Hircine. True bears are noble and great creatures of the wild. But the Daedra have no skill for creation. It is a pitiable fate, and one that I fear has fallen. He set off from here so long ago. It's hard to say. Could be in Hammerfell for all I know. If you happen to cross his path, be wary. He was a fierce warrior as a man. If he fell prey to his more bestial side, he could be deadly. He never felt that we seek for It's not a fate I would wish on anyone, or not what I wanted for my brother.
My son and I gather... His name... I've tried to tell him that the world beyond our lands... You would do that? Yes. Perhaps you can convince him. I would be grateful if you would do this thing, outsider. Many hunters, they bring us things from their... It's true we Skaal prefer a simpler life than some. I gathered some plants that are useful for making potions, but I have other goods as well.
The beasts are driven north in search of food.
I fear what would
The
have happened
ashfall
if
in
you
the
hadn't
south
freed us.
kills the plant. Upon which the small creatures feed. As the small creatures move north, the large ones that
I've
prey
seen
upon
out.
them must
Perhaps I'll be the... That's right. I want to go out into the world and earn great glory. I want to hunt the deadliest creatures and claim vast riches. I'm wary of living in this village. I want to do something with my life other than farm, fish, and hunt deer. I know it must be hard for an adventurer such as you to understand this, but we Skaal live very boring lives. I know that it would be difficult for her, at least for a time, but I'm a man now. I have the right to choose what life I will. Well, I know there is some danger, of course, but I didn't think it would be that bad. If the risk is truly so great, I will train with wolf wild blood and hone my skills. Perhaps in 3 or 4 winters I will truly be ready. I can see that in my eagerness for adventure, you have helped me to see wisdom, and I thank you for that, small friend.
If Nicholas Lee... May the Allmaker... I wish that I could give you a reward that is equal to the joy in my heart. But I don't have much to offer one who has so much already. Perhaps these will prove useful to you. These herbs are unique to the island, and their light cannot be found elsewhere. It's been a pleasure.
I've spent many days practicing your aim. All day.
If you find
I
yourself...
don't know what you did in those mines, but it put a smile on Cretius's face.
Ash,
Never seen him so happy.
like to spring.
Be careful out there.
Look at me. Couldn't be better. Old. At this rate, I'll be able to put a roof over my head in just a few months.
Understandable, considering the differences between us.
I'm not talking about that. I have with the Ashborn threat taken care of. It can be. Even the most experienced warriors can fall prey to petty distractions. They usually didn't amount to much, but they make my job that much harder. Some of my own men have become quite accustomed to a spirit they called Emberbrand wine. Despite, if I knew where they were stashing the bottles, I'd put an end to it myself. You would? That would be helpful. I just don't have time to do it myself right now. They're too smart to have left it in the bulwark. I'd searched one of the abandoned houses on the outskirts of town. I've had to muster some more men to protect the mine, but I don't really have a problem. Second, I say let them try. My men are ready for them. Ah, this is bone mold armor. Quite impressive. It's fashion. It might appear brittle, but I'd wager all of the soldiers in... I've spent quite a few years honing their skills, and I can assure you, to protect Councillor Morvain. Yes, quite... Other than that, I'm not at liberty to discuss it. Find me that stash of wine. I'm itching to be rid of it.